Hello, my name is George Eschnauer, and I'm a full-time faculty member here at Ottawa University. I was asked to create this brief video to go over the resources that we have put into the faculty portal related to the updated 7th edition of APA. So what I'm going to do is just jump right in and just screen share with you where the resources are, and then we're going to go over the PowerPoint that we built that discusses some of the subtle changes in regards to the 7th edition. And then we can look at an annotated PDF of some of the changes so that you can utilize that or share it with students. Okay, so what we have here is the faculty portal. You all should be familiar with the faculty tab, but if you go to professional development over here on the left and then click into the training and development resources area, this is where we house all of our training and development documentation. So some of you may have come here to watch videos or find reporting documents, anything like that. But what we have done, and specifically for this video, is we're just going to look at APA resources over here on the side. So this page has been built out. So if you want to purchase the manual, you can do so here. But it also has basic APA document formatting and examples for how to do journals or social media posts, anything like that. These links will go directly out to apastyle.org. So if we wanted to look at journal articles, it'll just take us right here. And we'll kind of get into this here in a little bit when we talk about how they've changed it to make it a little bit easier for the students to understand what exactly they're doing. We also have the library landing page. It's going to mirror kind of what we have here. So if you click on that, it takes you to the library, and then you want to click over here to formatting, papers, citing sources, APA 7th edition. It's going to look exactly like what we have there. Since students can't see this section that's in the faculty portal, we can share this with them, and it's important that we do so so they have the resources to be successful when it comes to formatting and better understanding how to utilize the resources that they have. Okay. And then we also have provided a little bit of documentation. Down here we have a student sample paper that is in a Word document, and that can be shared with students. And we'll go over some of those. We'll look at that just briefly about some of the changes that they've made, but then also the annotated document, reference list quick guide, and then explanation as to the various headings that APA is pushing for. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just open up the slideshow. Bear with me. All right. So this is just generic information about the manual itself. Color-coded tabs. It's really aesthetically pleasing because you can just go, and if you're looking for something related to the specific topic, it's color-coded so you can find it rather quickly. Inside the PowerPoint, we've also linked out to the sample papers and also some tables and figures and how to do that. One subtle change is bias-free language. They have moved more towards the, instead of he, she, it is now acceptable to have they as a singular to avoid the identifying gender. And I think you'll see more growth over that in the coming years. New standard title page. There's going to be a title page for professional papers for publication, and then the standard one that we'll be using for our students here. And that's the standard one, just student sample paper is the one that's in the resource area that has the requisite information on it. There have been changes to the section headings. They've added to that. There'll be some information in the annotated PDF if you want more on that. But we're still going to have level 1, level 2, level 3. Those are all the same. They've just added some differences further down the line. Standardization, they've made some changes to punctuation, standard spelling, plural version of names. Again, these are in the new checklist of the manual, and they're color-coded. For in-text citations, this was a large change, but 1 to 2 authors is still the same. But now, when you have 3 or more, you go ahead and jump right into the et al. Format instead of listing all the authors out the first time. So personally, I think that's going to be easier for students to know that they just need to go straight into that format. And then that change will actually, you'll have to do a little bit more work on the reference page. But for citations, that should be easier for them to learn and utilize. Group authors, it shows you standards for abbreviating groups. So this would be the first citation, then the subsequent citations. Again, when we look at those links in the resource area, and we clicked out to say a journal article, it looks just like this on their web page on apastyle.org. And it's nice because it's color coded and it's showing the students exactly what they need to be pulling and what's needed in a parenthetical citation, narrative citation, and it does give some explanation in there as to when to utilize those for the students. The rest is the same except the URL, which we'll get into here in just a minute. But when you click out, if you want to share that with students, the library or apastyle.org, it will help them better understand if you get this information out to them, because it explains where everything comes from. For journal articles, do include the DOI still, but if it doesn't have a DOI, the URL is now expected. The one difference, though, as you can see, is we no longer have the verbiage in here that says retrieved from. So you list the URL and call it good. Also for the reference page for authors, now you list up to 20 authors. Before you only listed up to 7. So that is a big change. And then with books and ebooks, you no longer have to put the city or location of the publisher. You can just put the publisher's information, so you don't have to figure out what city to use. The new manual and the new apastyle.org has better examples for sources, tables, charts, figures. All of that is much easier to navigate for students who need to utilize that information in their assignments. A lot better explanations as to why, which I noted earlier. But I think overall they've done a good job of simplifying what doesn't need to be a complex writing format, but has been in the past. So if we'll just bear with me here. And so like I said, when we referenced out to the page, it says here's the parenthetical citation, the narrative citation for a journal article. I mentioned they cleaned that up a little bit so it shows the students how to utilize them appropriately. If we go back to our resources, I already have this open, but let's go and look at the Word document real quick. So this is the sample student paper. And as you can see, the headers are gone. So we no longer have running head in the title. Those are gone. That is a much simpler heading, and students did tend to struggle with that. The title page is different. Here is the information that is necessary for the title page to be in compliance with APA. Some of the other small changes is your title here at the top of the second page didn't used to be in bold. It is now, so that's a subtle change. Still have level 1, level 2 headings. The long quote format or block format is still the same. And then for another subtle difference is the word references is now in bold. But as I mentioned earlier, on the reference page, anything with a URL now, it doesn't require that retrieve from prior to it. The rest is pretty much the same. There's going to be some subtle changes that you can explore in there, but probably nothing too drastic on the undergraduate side. But for professional papers and things like that, there might be changes that you want to better understand. There's an example of a video file. This is a little different from YouTube, so you can look at that. And then here is the annotated document that explains, what they've highlighted and things, but then it also touches and tells you where it's at in the manual itself. So if you have a manual, it will tell you what section those information pieces come from. So as you can see, there's a ton of information to be provided here, not only to yourself, but to your students so they better understand everything. But really, that's pretty much it. We'll go back to the resource area. So if you have any questions about anything that's on here, any suggestions, please let us know, either my contact information, or you can email facultytraining@ottawa.edu, and we will get that information updated, or at least have a communication about it. But hopefully you all find that the APA formatting is a little easier now. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We do appreciate you taking a few moments to watch this brief video. I know it was quick, but if you need any other information, do just let us know. We're only an email away. Thank you.